Okay, so we're just going to get started in a comfortable seat. Maybe you want to sit on a block or a blanket to let your knees fall down. Just get comfortable. If you want, you can also come into hero's pose, whatever feels good. And just inhaling through the nose, part the lips, side out the mouth. 2 more times like that. In through the nose, side out the mouth. Now keep that breath going, inhaling through the nose. And keep the lips closed. Exhale through the nose. Maybe pulling that tongue slightly towards the back of the mouth, creating that ujjayi ocean breath. Letting the shoulders fall away from the ears. Before we begin our practice, maybe just thinking about all the people in your life that you take care of on a daily basis. A parent, a husband, a wife, children. And if you didn't have this practice and this self-care, you might not be able to do your job as well. I was actually just reading an article in Vogue magazine, which I never get, but it happened to come in the mail. And it was an article by Bruce Willis's daughter, Bruce and Demi Moore's daughter, Tallulah. And I'm like, oh, what does she have to complain about? You know, she's got money, famous parents. And, you know, as I read this article and she was talking about how, you know, she suffered such a self-loathing from an early age. She was 11 years old and she went to some awards night with her parent, with Demi Moore. And when she got home, she kind of went online to all of the social websites, and there were just adult people saying awful things about this 11-year-old. You know, her chin was jutting out too much. She looked to this, to that. You know, they must be so embarrassed because she's such a beautiful woman and she's got this daughter, just really awful. And for an 11-year-old, I thought, wow, you know, she had to listen to all of this like hate. And so she became convinced that they were right. And from there, she never really talked to anyone about it. It just spiraled and spiraled. And she, you know, had addiction issues. She had eating disorders. And finally, when she was down to like 84 pounds, she decided to check herself into a clinic and get herself well. And about the same time is when her father was going through tests for his it's like a form of dementia where he loses his speech and understanding of language. So he was going through that and she wanted to be there for him. But as she was working on her self-care, she realized that if I don't love myself, I cannot love and be there for my family. So, you know, everybody has shit, as they say. And you can look at someone and think they have everything. And really, if they don't have self-love, they have nothing. So with that being said, thank you for showing up for yourselves so that you can be there for those around you. So inhale one more time and exhale. You can open your eyes or keep them closed and just lift the arms up and touch your palms together if you can, or just towards one another. And then exhale, take your right hand down to the ground and the left hand up over your ear. And maybe you can get your forearm down or rested on a block. And just trying to keep your sits bones down as you're stretching. Maybe pinky comes down, thumb up to even give a little more rotation in your shoulder. And then we'll lift back up and then take that right hand and place it on the left knee, the left hand behind you, and just gaze over that left shoulder. I'll just start my music. And then keeping that right hand where it is, take the left arm up over your ear and just bend towards that right knee. Can you hear the music, or is it connected to my ears? All right, come back up and left arm comes down, right arm over your ear. Sorry about that. Oh boy, I have to take, I don't know why, but for some reason, okay, bring that right hand, where are you? Right hand to the left knee. All right, let me just get this fixed and then I'll be together. Come back up to the center, maybe switch to cross the legs. And just fold over. Connected, but it's not connected. Walk your hands back in. And just roll over onto tabletop, maybe you pad up the knees. And just roll through a few cat cows. Tuck the toes, arch the spine, look up. And then roll the toes back flat. Push the ground away for cat. All right, 2 more rounds of cat cow. Then coming to stillness, lifting the right arm up and threading it under the left arm, right cheek to the ground. Walking that left hand forward if you want a deeper stretch. Coming back through onto tabletop, lift that right arm in the air and then place it down and just take it over to the other side. Threading that left arm under. Coming back up, bringing that left arm to the sky and placing it down. And then we're going to just lift that right leg up long. Place your toes down on the mat.
And then just push the ground away, stretching out that calf. So your arms are kind of, your shoulders aren't stacked over your wrists anymore. You're pushing back. Nice stretch in that calf. And coming back up to neutral, lifting that leg up, flexing that foot. And then you could stay here, or let's lift that left arm up for a balance. And tucking the toes helps with balance. Inhale, exhale, elbow to knee. Stretch it out long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale out long. Exhale, elbow to knee. 2 more times at your own pace. Remembering that breath, linking your breath to your movement. And then bring that left hand down, keep the right foot up, and just cross that right leg over the left and take a peek back at your left foot. If that's too much of a stretch, just stay neutral with your head facing down. Next inhale, lift that right leg up and just take the left foot slightly off the mat. And then raise your right arm for a modified side plank. Remember to keep flexing that back foot, doing something with it, stacking your shoulders. Bring this foot out even a little more, just help balance, and big foot down to start or lift it. Coming back through center, knee down, maybe a couple of cat cows, just to reset that spine. Then the next inhale, we're tucking those toes and just hovering those knees about 1 inch off the floor, pushing around away. Engaging that abdomen. And setting your knees down, we lift our left leg long, toes to the ground, and then just push the ground away, stretching out that left calf. And coming back up, stacking shoulders over wrists, lifting that left leg, flexing that foot. Stay here or lifting that right arm for the balance. Inhale on the exhale, crunch right elbow, left knee. Inhale it out long, exhale it in. Inhale it out long, exhale it in. 2 more times. And then bringing that right hand down and taking that left foot this time, crossing it over the right leg and just peeking back at that left foot. This is a great stretch for your hips. So now we lift that left leg back up, take the bottom leg off the mat for balance. And then we're lifting that left arm up, stacking shoulders. And you can leave the back foot on the ground or lift it up. Engage and move on to that muscle that stops you from peeing. 2 more breaths. Come back through center. 1 more time, we'll hover those knees, tuck the toes, hover the knees about 1 inch. You stay here or inhale, exhale, right knee to right elbow, and then back. Left knee, left elbow, back. And just back and forth, tapping your elbow. Whatever pace, if you want fast, you go fast. If you want slow, you go slow. One more time each side. And then rest those knees down and sit back into a child's pose. I do offer some hands-on adjustment. If you prefer, I skip you, just flip your palms up. Okay. Anytime we need to use blocks to bring the floor close to us. Next inhale, come back up to hands and knees, and we'll lift up into our first downward facing dog. So in down dog, we want to start out with a full plank, and we don't move our hands or feet, and just lift our hips back. So it doesn't matter if you get your heels to the ground. It's more important that your equal distribution between the hands and the feet. So you're not dumping into those wrists, pressing into your thumb and forefinger, spiraling those elbows towards the front of the room, and internally rotating. Inhale from hands to hips, exhale from hips to feet. One more time, and then we'll walk to the front of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Slowly, like your rag doll, rolling up to stand, Tadasana. Palms facing the front of the room, shoulders down away from the ears. Inhale, lift the arms up, Ardha Hastasana. Exhale it back down, Uttanasana. Hands to shins, flat back. And step back plank. And lower knees, chest, chin. Straighten out those legs. Cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhaling and exhaling, 3 breaths here. Inhale, lift that right leg high. And step it on through to replace the right hand. Drop your left knee down, top of left foot, and lift up low lunge. So maybe you start here with your hands on your knee, making sure that your hips are square to the front of the room. And then when you're ready, you lift up. Hands to the ground, step back plank. And lower knees, chest, chin, or to the belly, or chaturanga. Half push up, lower your way. Upward facing dog or cobra. Roll toes under, downward facing dog. Lift that left leg up and step it on through. Lower the right knee, top of right foot, lift up into your low lunge. Breathing here. Hands to the ground, step back plank, lower knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana. cobra or upward facing, pulling that chest. Let's pause here a moment in our up dog or cobra. Engaging the belly. Roll toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, walk to the front or jump to the front of the mat. Forward fold. And then lifting up and around, Urdhva we'll add on a little bit here. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Hands to shins, half lift to prepare. Hands down, let's step that right foot back. So you're in this like lunge. And then drop that right knee, top of right foot, coming up into your low lunge again. Hands on either side of the foot. We're going to step back either. You're going to lift your knee and step back to side plank, or just like we did in the beginning, taking that right foot slightly off the mat and bringing that left foot back for a modified side plank. Good. You put it up. Try for the balance. Stepping back to your low lunge and coming back up into your full low lunge. Hands to the ground, step back plank. Hold your plank, inhale. Exhale, lower down your way, dropping your knees, chest and chin. Straightening those legs, pulling through to your cobra or upward facing. Roll toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift that left leg, step it on through, low lunge. And this is, wait, am I on the right foot? No, the other way, I'm sorry. Right foot forward, left foot back. Oh, no, we were right. We were right, sorry. Inhale. So left foot forward, right back, I'm sorry. Lowering your hands on either side of your foot and taking that bottom leg slightly, I'm sorry. You were all right. We were on the wrong side. Mary Jo, you were right. Switch it out, guys. Sorry. So we're going into our modified side plank on this side. More twist, do whatever. You know what? Let's all step back plank and go through Chaturanga Dandasana or knees, chest, chin, and we're going to start over. Now we're facing dog. Inhale, hop to the front of the mat, forward fold. Uttanasana. Hands to shins, flat back. Forward fold. Step that right foot back. Drop that right knee. Lift up into our low lunge. Right hand down. Left foot to the back of the mat for your side plank. Maybe you take that left arm over the left ear. Inhale, exhale, crunch elbow to knee. Inhale it out long. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale it out long. Exhale, elbow to knee. And then inhale out long one more time, and then step back through low lunge. Now we're going to take both hands on the inside of that left foot and just inch that right knee back a little bit. You can stay here for your lizard. Or drop your forearms onto the floor or block to deepen that stretch. Next inhale, come up onto both hands. Lift that back knee and step it forward outside the right hand. We're coming into our Malasana squat. So if your heels don't reach the ground, you're just going to sit on a block. Toe heel out your hand, your feet as wide as the mat. Pressing your elbows against those knees. That's right. But it is important that you lift your chest. So try sitting on the blocks. Very good. Yikes. You're good. I got you. Hands in prayer. Shoulders back. Hands to the ground, forward fold. Uttanasana. Maybe grabbing opposite elbows, swaying right, swaying left. Hands to the ground. And hands to your shins, flat back to prepare. And this time we're stepping that left leg back. Dropping the left knee, top of left foot, coming into our low lunge on this side. And if sinking in is like too much on the hips, you can come to more of a box lunge. I probably should have mentioned this on the first 20. Bring our left hand down. We're coming into that modified side plank. So the right foot comes back either onto the mat or we're lifting it up. Flexing that foot. And that bottom leg is like a kickstand. So toes can be down. As long as you're stacking shoulders, that's the most important thing there. Inhale, lift your right arm over your ear. And exhale, elbow to knee, crunch it in. Inhale it out long, exhale, elbow to knee. One more time, inhale it out long, exhale, elbow to knee. And now we're coming back around, hands to the ground, and coming back into our low lunge. Just for a breath. We're placing our hands on the inside of that right foot this time. Maybe you're staying right here, just hugging that right knee into that right arm. Maybe you sink down lower, bringing forearms to blocks or the ground. Bowing your head. Going back up onto the palms of your hands. Lifting that back knee up. And just stepping it up outside that left hand, coming into your Malasana squat. Yeah, I gotcha. Like the fear of it more than anything. Yes. Pushing those shoulders back. Good. No, they will, they will. It's amazing. You know, you sit, this is why they call it yoga practice, not yoga perfect. Inhaling, exhaling here. Just noticing how this feels. Hands to the ground, toe heel those feet, hip width to this distance, and just come into your forward fold. Maybe you're grabbing opposite elbows again. Maybe you're taking your peace fingers and your thumbs around your big toes and just pushing those elbows out to the side, getting deeper into this fold. Letting that head and neck fall. And the next inhale, slowly roll up. Lifting the arms up and around. Bring your hands through heart center, Samasthiti. And just taking a breath here before we move into our next series. Inhale, arms up and around. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Half lift to prepare. Hands to shins, flat back. And then coming up right away, sitting back into our chair pose. So chair pose can be with feet apart. And we're tucking. Imagine your belly button going towards your spine and tucking that tailbone in. You don't want to feel any crunching. You don't want to feel anything in that lower back. Holding Mula Bandha, squeezing that pelvic floor. Inhale, exhale, straighten your arms out, forward fold. Right away, half lift to prepare. Step back plank. Lower your way, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Cobra or upward facing. Roll toes under, downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lift that right leg high. Step it through to replace that right hand. Spiral the back heel down to a 45-degree angle. And then slowly coming up to warrior one. And again, checking in with your hips. Right hip should be tracking back, left hip forward to make sure they're square. When we lift our arm, lift our gaze. The gaze should be towards where the ceiling meets the wall. Don't need to crank our necks. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, hands to the ground, step back plank, lower your way, or just come straight to down dog if you're sick of your push-ups. Roll toes under, downward facing dog. Right away, lift that left leg high, bring it on through to replace the left hand. Coming up into our warrior one, back foot at a 45-degree angle. Holding as warrior one, deep bend in that left knee. One more breath, bring it down, step back plank. Lower your way. And we all meet in downward facing dog. And just to note, when you're lowering, we want to make sure our elbows aren't splaying out because that's how we'll hurt our shoulders. Tucking those elbows in towards your body, almost like they're connected. Inhale, hop forward to the front of the mat, forward fold. Half lift to prepare. And sit right back into that chair pose again. Toes together, heels apart, or feet hip width distance, tucking that tailbone in. One more breath. Straighten legs, forward fold. Half lift to prepare. And step back, plank. Lower knees, chest, chin. Or chaturanga dandasana, upward facing. And downward facing dog. Well, we were just. And down dog, get your feet about hip, make your feet about hip width distance apart. Lifting that right leg, step it on through, warrior one. And remember, our warriors, we don't have to be on like a tightrope. We can make our feet as wide as the mat if we need to. It's more important that our hips are on that wheel plane, as Lauren says. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and change nothing, but lift that back heel up into a high lunge. So you're pressing that heel towards the back of the groin. Next, inhale, spiral it open, warrior two. So the back foot is parallel to the short edge of the mat. And this heel is in line with the middle of your foot. You bend, open up, gaze over those right fingertips. Yeah, perfect. Let's move this foot forward a little bit. If your knee tracks over your ankle, just scooch that foot forward. It should be more of a right angle. Inhale, flip the right palm, reverse that warrior. Exhale, straighten that front leg. And start to hinge forward into our triangle pose. Landing that right hand on a block or anywhere on the left. So it's good. We move this hand up just a little bit, just strap the shoulders. Right shoulder. Move your hand up just a little bit more. There you go. See? Alignment is more important than forcing a pose. Now, keeping the arms right where they are, just bend that front knee and bring that hand to the inside of the right foot or a block. Good. Bring that floor closer to you. If you have a half bind or full bind here, you can take it. Next inhale, come back up, warrior two. Spiral your arms down on either side of that front foot and just step that back foot in about 6 to 8 inches, enough so that you can keep both legs straight. And by straight, I don't mean overextended. You can have a micro bend. And bring blocks to either side of the foot. I got it. Taking my job. Inhale and exhale. Removing the props if you have them. Hands to the ground. Step forward. Heel toe out your feet as wide as the mat. Toes pointing out, heels in, and we're going to sit back into that Malasana squat. All good. And the next inhale, take that right arm, right hand out long, left hand to the ceiling, open it up. If you have half bind or full bind, you can take it here. We'll come back through center, hands to the ground, forward fold. Maybe this time you take opposite elbows or yoga toe lock, or maybe you take your whole palm under your foot, toes towards your wrists, and come into gorilla pose. Let go of whatever you're holding on to, hands to shins, flat back. And we sit right back into that chair pose. Belly to spine, tucking tailbone. This time, maybe you take arms around your back, clasp your hands, or maybe you just keep your hands right on your hips. And then forward fold with your arms behind you. Release down, step back plank. Lower your way, knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing. And let's just sit back into a child's pose. And take a breath here before we go on to the other side. Knees can be as wide as the mat, toes touching, or knees together, whatever feels good in this moment. Feel like we need to move again. When you're ready, no rush. We're going to be downward facing dog. Stay in child's pose another moment if you need it. Inhale, lift that left leg long. Step it through. Warrior one on this side. Back heel on a 45-degree angle. And remember, feet can be as wide as the mat. And from warrior one, stay exactly where you are, just lifting that back heel up, pushing it back towards the back of the room, engaging that right thigh. One more breath, inhale, exhale, we open up into warrior two, back foot parallel to the short edge of the mat, front foot, front heel in line with the middle of your arch, arms out wide, and gaze over those left fingertips. And we're not doing this. That's like the misconception that I got too. Like you're not like reaching forward. You're keeping stacking your shoulders over your hips, keeping that torso straight. Gaze over the left arm. And just straighten your toes towards the front of the mat. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, flip the left palm, lift it up for reverse warrior. Next inhale, straighten that front leg and slowly start to hinge forward into your triangle pose. Hand on a block or anywhere on the leg. Next inhale, keeping the arms where they are, just bending that front knee, coming into our side angle. Hand comes on a block or the floor on the inside of that left foot, hugging that left knee into that left arm. If you have a half or full bind, you can take it here. Lifting back up into your warrior two. And then spiraling those hands on either side of the foot, stepping that right foot in about 6 to 8 inches so that both legs are straight, and lowering your chin to shin. Blocks on either side of the foot. One. Towards the front of the mat. Now straighten my front leg. Good. Remember, everybody's body is different. So my straight legs might be all the way back here. Somebody else's straight legs might be here. Next inhale, step that right foot to meet the left foot. Forward fold as we toe heel out, back into our Malasana squat. Sitting on blocks. Knee. Opening up our knees. Inhale, extend that left hand, left palm to the floor, right arm to the sky for a twist. Taking a half or a full bind if you have it. Coming back through to your crow, palms together. Hands on the ground, forward fold. Let's keep our feet wide this time. And maybe we sway right and left. Shake our heads yes and no. Next inhale, just step back to plank. And just lower all the way down to your belly. You start to cool down. So coming up into Sphinx pose, stacking shoulders over your wrists. Stacking shoulders over your elbows, I'm sorry. Palms down, pressing your toes into the ground so much that your knees lift up off the floor. Pushing down your foreheads and then just pulling your heart through. Engaging your core. You don't want to feel this in your lower back. Again, I always say it, I probably sound redundant, but back bends are not about really bending your back, but opening your heart. When you've had enough, come down. Rest your forehead on top of your hands. Shake those hips. We're just going to do one more back bend. So taking that again, Sphinx pose, or bringing your arms by your sides, coming into locust. So maybe you're just lifting your head and chest, and that's enough. Maybe you lift your hands. Maybe you can lift your feet too. Engaging Mula Bandha. Whenever you're ready, come down. Shaking your hips left and right. Maybe bending your knees, windshield, wiping your legs back and forth. We're gonna lift up now into our last downward, well, probably second to last downward facing dog. Right away, we're gonna lift that right leg up and bring your right knee behind your right wrist and your left foot behind your left. And if you have any knee issues, you're gonna be taking this on your back. So if you have anything going on with your knee, you're gonna come on your back and cross your right foot over your left and just bring that figure four towards you. When you're ready, if you're in pigeon, you're gonna lower down onto your belly, knees out long. Rest your head down. You can actually leave this foot down if you want. And just push this leg away and get the same stretch. If you need more, then you lift the whole figure four towards your hips. Okay. On the next inhale, we're going to come up to a seated twist. So if you're on your back, just come up. Right leg long. Left foot can stay inside your thigh. Or you can go for a deeper twist and cross it over. If you want to bend that bottom leg, you can. I'm going to leave it long. And so with the right arm, we're just hugging in that left knee and then twisting over to the left. Maybe you're taking that right elbow and hooking it outside the knee and stretching even deeper. And now we're going to counter twist the other way, just for a breath. And then take that right foot inside the thigh, the left thigh. So left leg, am I on the right side? Which bottom leg is down? Yeah. Yeah, so keep your right leg down, left foot comes in. Lifting your arms up and then turning to face that stretched out right leg and just fold over that leg. Okay to have a bend in that leg, that stretched out leg. And then we're going to move into pigeon right away on the left side. So taking that right foot and swinging it around back. Or if you took pigeon on your back, you're just going to lay back and cross left leg, left ankle over that right leg. Staying here, just pushing that leg away. Or bringing that whole figure four towards your face. If you're on that pigeon on the front, just lowering down to the floor, the blocks. If you're on your back, you're just going to come up. If you're in pigeon, walk your arms in and swing that right leg around, left leg long. Sitting up nice and tall, you can stay here or cross that right leg over the left. And with the left arm, we're hugging in that leg. Right arm behind you for the twist. Gaze to the side wall or over that shoulder. Counter twist the other way. Just for breath and then taking that, where are we? Right foot inside the left leg. Lifting up your arms up over your head, turning to face that stretched out leg and fold over chin towards your shin. Bend in the knee here is good. Or blocks on either side of the foot, on either side of the leg. Next inhale, walk it back up, stretch both legs out long, flexing your toes towards your face, hands on either sides of your hips, sitting up tall, Dandasana. I'm slowly walking those hands forward, keeping the back as straight as possible. So we're not dumping in to get low. The idea is not to get low, just to shine your heart towards your feet. Maybe you bend those knees so you have a belly to thigh connection. Walking your hands back in. And then slowly lowering onto our backs. Bend your knees so your feet are towards your hips. And we're all going to take a supported bridge here. So taking your block right under your sacrum, that flat area right above your butt. And just coming into your supported bridge. So take your arms out to a T, nice and wide, stretching out that chest. Maybe you even stretch your legs long if you want to get a little bit of a deeper back bend. Perfect song to end with. See if we survived it. When you're done with your back bend, you're gonna lift those hips up and remove the block. And slowly, one vertebra at a time, come down to the floor. And taking those knees over to the right, teeing out the arms, gaze over the left shoulder, which is a twist here before we close it out. Coming back through center and just taking me over the other side, gaze over the right shoulder, feels like hand and neck. I'm coming back to center. Last pose I'm going to offer is happy baby, but if you need anything, like shoulder stand, bow. If you want to end with a diversion, headstand. I mean, a hand, yeah, headstand. There's a handstand. And when you're ready, if you took shoulder stand to, yeah, make sure you counter it with Supta Baddha Konasana or fish. And then coming down, taking up as much room as you can on your mat, coming into our Shavasana. You'd like some support.
I will raise you from your sleep. I will keep you in
Just letting everything go. Shavasana song. Just letting it all go. We worked hard.
Roses too. I see the moon. Clouds of white, how pleasant day. Don't say good night. Nothing to say. Pretty in the sky. Also pretty. People going by. And how do you they're really saying, I know. Watch it grow. They'll know much more. I'll go.
And slowly start to invite deeper breaths into the body, waking yourself up. Maybe wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Stretching your arms up overhead and your feet long down the mat for that good morning stretch. When you're ready, hugging your knees into your chest. Rocking left and right. Next time you go right, coming over into fetal position. And when you're ready, slowly come up to your feet. Eyes closed, inhale, reach your arms up around, just like we started, palms together. Bringing your hands through your third eye, your lips, your throat, landing in your heart center. And we'll inhale and exhale the universal sound of Om together to end class. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace for all of you. And go through your day with the self-love you deserve. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you all for coming, supporting.
Thank you, Pauline.
Thank you. Sorry, my earphones were not working properly, but I hope you could hear me okay.
Oh, yeah, no, I heard you fine.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. Thanks. Have a good one.
You too, bye.
Bye-bye.